Is it Michael Sirow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Cool, cool. I'm here with Michael Sirow, actor in The Boneyard. This is a really cool kind of action thriller, and I did not know this watching it, but it was based on a true story. What brought you to this project?
So I had worked with one of the producers for on a couple movies in the past. By a couple, I mean like I think three, four now. But he had initially said, so it goes that he thought of me for one of the characters, you know, being the character of John Tate. And Sent it to me asking me he sent it to me asking what I first thought of it. And then he said, I'm thinking that you'd be perfect for that. Would you Zoom with the director? His name's Asif, and the rest was kind of history. And he was right. Initially, because I don't really get window of opportunity to do roles that have like a you know um, bunch of layers on top of one another. So this was kind of a nice, it was just like a forgive me for saying this, but it was kind of like my wet dream actor moment, I guess you could call it. It was just like, oh yeah, this has got everything to play with creatively. So
Well, your character in this is kind of a less than savory type of person. Is that when your producer looks at it and says, "Hey, you'd be perfect for you," do you just read the script and just kind of side eye and go, "What do you mean by that?"
I think it's just because he hates me so much. I think that's why I think that's why he did it. He likes to give me a lot of shit. And no, but it's all out of love, tough love. So
Like obviously you enjoy playing this, but like what's like what do you look for in a script when you're reading a character that you're playing that just kind of triggers in your head like, "Ooh, I'm just gonna nail this one."
you know what's interesting, and I'm glad you're asking that question because every time I've done that, because I think that's one of the things that you sometimes because what you just said, you'll read something and be like, I'm perfect for that. That's me. And then you go in and it's kind of there's certain things that happen during production that you're like, okay, well, this is kind of feeling different than when I read, because whatever is on paper, not always, but it's sometimes it's never, any transition that goes onto screen, it's always very, it's like a light switch. It's very different. But you know, what I look for, I guess, is just characters that help tell the story, that are pivotal to the the draft or the script, and that really you know the audience or a audience or anyone for that matter can really just relate to. You know, I guess, but just someone with some purpose. Um, so,
Is there
but
has there ever been any situations where like you're on the set and usually you do like a couple takes, sometimes a lot, sometimes a few, but like you do a bunch of takes and there's like the take that you really thought you nailed, but that wasn't the one they use in the movie.
yeah, it sucks. I hate when that happens. So Brian and I were actually talking about that. I was like, wait, I just did because that happened a couple of times because I've gotten so spoiled where I'm always asking for one more, and then I get the eye roll like, okay, he thinks he's Harrison Ford or something, just kind of asking for. But I think that what I've learned is you really have to trust your director. You have to trust just your surroundings and just yourself. Most of all, you really have to just believe the choices that you're making are that. And if someone says that, you got, I did a movie. I worked with Stephen Lang once. Sorry to drop a name on the floor, but I don't know if you know who that is. Stephen Lang
I
from
I do, and in fact,
yeah,
if it's the movie I'm thinking of, it's upcoming with Isaac Florentine.
yeah, yes sir, yes sir.
Looking
And,
very forward to that. Love
I've
Isaac
known
Florentine.
Slang for many years, and we did just. I'm sorry to pivot to a completely other movie, but this is a perfect example to answer your question because and any actor that tells you otherwise, I think they're either lying or they're just kind of like, but we all want perfection. But this is you never get that, right? But you can get something that you feel is close enough to it. We were doing the scene. It was the coverage was on me. Steven had already got his coverage, but I'd wanted one more take, but I felt really good about what I just done. And then he interjected and he's like, listen, we don't need to do another take. When you got it, you got it. He was acting like a grumpy old curmudgeon. And we have this on again, off again thing, which is all good because he lives over here and he's kind of been like my theater dad for many years. But he was very patient and I did it again. And it wasn't just like the last one because I was like going in and I'm thinking like it's going to be, and he was like, so are you happy now? And I was just kind of like, well, no. And he's like, right, because you did, right? You told yourself a story that this was going to outdo the last one. And, and he was right about that, so if you really, it kind of goes with that saying, like, don't fix what's not broken. So.
Yeah. And you do, since 2007, you've worked a lot and that's got to be fun as hell. Like, what's kind of your work ethic as far as like,
yeah, I don't know why people keep hiring me. I'm just,
I saw the movie. I know exactly why they keep hiring you.
You should ask the guy that hired me on Boneyard, the producer that gave me the script on Boneyard. He'll tell you. No, I appreciate you saying that. And that means a lot. Yeah, I think, you just are you asking sort of I want to make sure I answer your question.
Well, so like you have like the Leonardo DiCaprio where he's like very meticulous on what his next project's gonna be, and then you have the Eric Roberts who's like, I don't care, I just love doing this and I want to do everything.
I think if Leo and Eric had a baby, it would be me.
There you go.
That would be, if that answers your question. So to answer the question, I guess I don't know if that answers your question or not, but what I mean by that is, and I had this conversation with somebody yesterday, in fact, because as an actor, I went to Cal Arts Theater School, and we take all that for granted because you're there and you get to act all the time, and then once you get out and you're in the real world, you're like, oh, what do I do? Because you really never are that prepared, too prepared for failure. You have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with waiting around. You have to be okay with having too much time on your hands because it all is relative to what happens tomorrow. And where was I going with it? And so I think that what I'm trying to, because getting out and starting, you just want to quantify so much. You want to do as much as you can all the time. You always want to be busy. But what I'm starting to find myself now doing is like, look, I want to get to a place where I can start saying no, and I want to look at, and actually Stephen Lang was very, he's given me some great advice when he's in a good mood over the years. You call him up and ask him just his opinion on this, that, or the other, because he's been doing this he started off in theater, and that's what I started thinking I was going to do, because I live in the Mecca for all that, for stage, which is New York. But I just, look, the work is work, and there's no right or wrong way to, do it. I mean, that's, obviously that's logical, right? Like, and there's no such thing as, having it be too late. A lot of people say, oh, well, I'm 40 or I'm 45. It's just, it's not that. And, we all become our worst enemies. And that's a lot of, the reason for a lot of people kind of, start drifting elsewhere. But I don't know if this is anything that you were asking, but
it was that and plus, so that's always a
good
thing.
Okay, good. Emma's gonna hate me because I just went off on a tangent. But
well, speaking of the tangent, I think we are running a bit long, but I'm glad to have you on here, and everyone should check out Boneyard on July 5th, VOD in theaters, and I hope to catch you around on the new Isaac Florentine, Stephen Lang, Michael Sirow joint.
I just heard it got delivered, speaking of that, to Saban, the distributor, I think last week. So they were in post for God knows how long, but I think that it's finally going to be coming out at some point soon, sooner than later. So,
All right. But right now, Boneyard, check that one out first.
yes,
That
go see
movie's rad.
Boneyard. Go see it.
Cool. Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you, Eric. It was a pleasure meeting you.